you. Smile. Sometimes you make me smile. I can feel you. I'm missing you. Where is my head? Where can you be? How do I pretend? Do I believe? Where is my sunshine? Where is your light? I wanna see you. Make me smile. Sometimes you make me smile. Sometimes you make me smile. Sometimes you smile. I can feel you. I'm missing you. The most fragile part of me. This is our strongest connection, even with my memory. But the philosophy that offers me completion. I'm so moved and strangely and told this direction. You are an ambassador. You personify my admiration. So beautiful. I'm there for you. You good for me. Sometimes you make
Peace, love, life, healing, and abundance to the two people in the House of Healing LLC chat room, and peace, love, life, healing, and abundance to be go live. This is Midnight Mindfulness. And yes, we are early. Share the live, my people. Share the love as you come into the Bigo Live room. Peace to you, Maria. I see you in the building, love. I'm sending you so much love, so much life. I hope you are doing well, love. It's good to see you.
Sometimes you make me smile. Sometimes you make me smile. Sometimes you make me smile. I can't feel you. I'm missing you. My love, my love, missing my love. I know I can hear you. I'm missing you. Missing you. I only cry my skin being soft as yours. My lips are full so moving from my mind. My eyes listen truly of my spirit. My love is
Grandmaster Fee, I see you in the building. Good to see you, love. Yes, yes. So, as you guys can see, I'm in a mood. Oshun Aje is in the building. My people, meaning my higher self, is ready to speak on a few things. I do have some downloads written down. And then, of course, we're just going to go, freestyling. Okay. So shout out to Bigo Live once again. Share the live, share the love, Bigo Live. We're going to get into it. This is going to be part of the Unraveling video series that is a playlist on the House of Healing LLC channel, and this live stream is being recorded. For the people who are on Bigo Live, you will be able to catch the playback on House of Healing LLC on YouTube. The playlist is Midnight Mindfulness, and to whittle it down to an even more exclusive playlist regarding the twin flame journey and the journey of self-realization, then you want to go to the Unraveling playlist on House of Healing LLC. We are listening to Flowetry, by the way, one of my favorite groups because they do exactly what I do, but one of my favorite duos because they do what I do simultaneously. So one is a spoken word poetess and one is a singer, and I do both. And so they are like me. Okay, I just love Flowetry. So shout out to Flowetry. Okay. But so what I want to get into tonight, my people, is the midnight mindfulness. I don't know which lesson this would be. Maybe four, I don't know, but this is also going to be again part of the playlist also entitled The Unraveling. And this is for people who are on the twin flame journey and people who are also just on that spiritual journey of self-realization. Okay. And going through this process along with the rest of us who have been chosen to take this walk. So the scripture that I chose for this particular live is running across the bottom of the screen. Okay. If my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves, pray, seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then and only then will I hear from heaven and forgive their sins and heal their land. This is Second Corinthians 7. Second Chronicles 7:14. Why this is relevant, I'm not exactly sure yet, my people, because I just write down and say what spirit tells me to say, but I do feel that there is a deep message coming forth from this particular scripture. So take from it what you will. As I always say, take the meat and leave the bones of things, meaning take what you need and what is going to benefit you and leave what you don't, because anyone who has been with me for any amount of time has heard me speak of spiritual gravity, things that hold us down and hold us back. These are the things that we want to be releasing as we are doing this unraveling that I'm speaking of. When I use the Russian dolls and I'm taking them apart and I'm writing on each layer the things that I'm releasing, this is therapeutic. So I suggest you guys try it in your own way. If my people who are called by my name, okay, will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways. This is important because I'm talking to a very select group of people, as I always say, the chosen vessels of the Most High, which is an energy of frequency, of vibration. By the way, we are listening to 432 hertz inner lotus music. Join me in the vibe, my people. So if my chosen vessels will humble themselves, meaning stop being so egotistical and stop thinking that they themselves are God. Stop being so wicked and jealous hearted and hateful, because nothing that you're doing or thinking or saying is hidden from your creator, because your creator is looking at your life and all of your words, thoughts, and deeds through your own eyes and feeling it in your own heart. So only when you actually cleanse yourself internally and truly and thoroughly will your prayers even be heard. Okay? Only when you humble yourself and acknowledge that there is a higher power, okay, to which we all have to answer and from which we can all draw power, strength, and wisdom. So the message is to acknowledge the source and to not be so self absorbed, so narcissistic. Because narcissistic people who fail to acknowledge the source, if you pay attention to narcissistic people, they are so ungrateful. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. They are the most ungrateful beings on this planet. They're also the most miserable and they're the weakest and all of that too, but they are so ungrateful. No matter what you do for a narcissist, this is why I call them the unfillables, because it is impossible to satisfy these people. They are literally the definition of insatiable. There is nothing that anyone outside of the narcissist can do to help their condition, because happiness, joy, peace, and even healing are all inside jobs. And the narcissist refuses to do the self reflection necessary to heal. Come through, spirit. I'm hearing something in my right ear. So I want to remind you guys that God does not hear the sinner's prayers, okay? Because you have not purified yourself enough to be even within the reach, okay? Meaning that the Most High is not listening to you, because knowing your heart, the Most High knows that the narcissist is just acting. They are excellent actors and actresses, and they have practiced their whole lives mimicking human emotion. But see, you can't fool God. And this is why their prayers are not heard, because their prayers are not sincere. But if any man be a true worshiper of the Most High, and not only just worships in their words and in their act and going through the motions, but in spirit and in truth, if they are actually doing the will of the Most High, these are the righteous people whose prayers availeth much. I just said something. So you can't be out here just, harming and hurting people and being a receptacle for negativity, and then thinking you can just go and pray and repent and say to God, I'm sorry that I hurt all those people. I'm sorry that I did whatever I did to such and such, because this was an energy that I was feeling the other day when I was driving. A lot of energy going on, especially in the divine masculine. And I don't even want to say divine when I'm speaking of this particular portion of the collective, because these masculines at this particular time are not in their divinity, but they are actually distorted masculines due to their states of mind, which then create their states of being. I was feeling in the realm a lot of masculine energies trying to go to the Most High and repent indirectly. And what I mean by that is they know exactly who they wronged and who they betrayed and who they've hurt. And the people that they have wronged and betrayed and hurt, these people are still alive. They know where they are. They know how to get in touch with them, but they have not chosen to do this. They think that they can go and just pray and say, God, I'm sorry for everything that I did. This is the generic narcissistic prayer, the narcissist's prayer. Okay. The same fake ass apology that they come give you when they've done wrong. And they see that nothing, they're not going to get past the wall that you've put up. So now they fabricate this script of an apology. There's no details in the apology as far as, I'm sorry that I did this to you. I'm sorry that, my actions caused this. It'll be very generic. It's going to be something like, I'm sorry, baby, for everything. And then they expect, all of your emotions and all of your hurt feelings and everything that you feel, they expect that to go away. And if you accept that fake ass apology, they think that everything that they've caused, all of the death and destruction that they have caused, all of the anxiety and fear and unrest that they have caused, they think that it just all disappeared. Because if you accepted that apology, it all went away. That means everything's okay. It never happened. And so if you ever try to bring it up again, then you become the problem. Now you're nagging. Now you're stressing them out. So we're not really, this is tonight's live is not about the narcissist, but narcissism is always going to be, in the background of whatever I'm speaking of, because I am the narc slayer and narcissism is the problem with the entire world. The narcissist is the chosen vessel of the most low, just as the empath, the starseed, the light worker are the chosen vessels of the most high. Again, when I speak of the most high and the most low, I'm speaking in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So when I'm speaking of the most high, I'm speaking of the frequency of love and all of its byproducts, such as joy, such as peace, such as abundance. Okay. And when I'm speaking of the most low, I'm speaking of the lowest vibration, fear, and all of its byproducts, such as jealousy, such as hatred. Okay. So we need to be able to recognize these two energies regardless of the vessel that it's carrying. So I want you guys to learn to test the spirit and test the spirit each and every time you encounter another spirit, because we are in spiritual warfare at this time. For those of you who have been following me for a while, you know that I've always spoken about the time of change, which was a dream that I had 26 years ago that told me about a future time when most of the people on the earth were going to be being possessed in different ways subliminally. So they were possessed and did not know that they were possessed. And that those of us who had not been infiltrated, that we would have to fight, there would be a war. We are in that time right now. The war is spiritual. The battlefield is the mind. What's going to be being affected is your thoughts and your emotions, your dreams, your overall disposition is what is under attack. So the time of change, represented by the number five, which is very significant to me for several reasons, is right now. The time of change is right now. The time where caterpillars are leaving the chrysalis to become that butterfly. A lot of you have been going through some very visible spiritual transformations, not just visible, but very painful, but also very fruitful spiritual transformations, very profound transformations, because this is the time of transformation. Transformation is change. And those of you who are resistant to change, you are suffering right now. 111 on the clock. As confirmation. D Angel, I see you in the building. The sinner's prayer, the quote unquote sinner's prayer. It's not a specific prayer that someone wrote 2,000 years ago for people for the rest of the time to repeat like a robot and you know to mimic and memorize and regurgitate, because that has no meaning. The true sinner's prayer is the first real conversation with God, okay, that unravels into a beautiful lifelong relationship with God. So the sinner's prayer would be your very first conversation that you actually acknowledge the source of your strength, of your wisdom, of your power, of your creativity. That first real conversation that then unravels into a lifelong relationship that then adds depth and substance and magic, okay, to your experience. That is what the sinner's prayer is. It's not a specific prayer that you memorize and regurgitate, but it's a real heart to heart conversation with that indwelling spirit that has been with you since before you incarnated into this physical experience. The Great Awakening is the remembering of the dismembered parts of the body of the Most High. The reason why I point out the difference between the characteristics of those who are chosen vessels of the Most High and those who are operating in that lower vibration is so that you are well aware of who your enemies are in this spiritual warfare. You must be able to discern spiritually, because looking with your physical eyes, you will 99.9% of the time be deceived. This is one of the most low's greatest weapons is deception, illusions, lies. And so we have to be able to see through that, and we have to learn how to trust something beyond just what the physical eyes are seeing. So I want you to be able to recognize the characteristics of your enemy in this war. Anywhere that you see people with a lot of money, a lot of power, people who are seeking to have control and domination, you're going to find devil energy. Jay Wood, I see you in the building. These are the places where devil energy seeks whom they can devour. People who are seeking to make money, to have power over other people, to control other people, pinky in the brain. or Mr. Smith from the Matrix, or whatever his name was. The agents, okay? These are the devil's personality traits. So pay attention, because I'm going to show you how to move in a room full of vultures. If you are a light worker and if you are of the light at your core, you're not going to be able to thrive in spiritual darkness. So the need to release spiritual gravity in the form of outdated relationships, outdated friendships, outdated environments, outdated teachings is imperative, because all of these things are spiritual gravity, again, that holds you down, that holds you back, or it's spiritual darkness that clouds your mind from actually understanding and understanding what the truth really is. The truth is simple, because the Most High God is not the author of confusion. The truth is very simple, it's very plain to see if you have eyes that were meant to see what is being shown. If you are in an environment that is not conducive to you growing and thriving, like a flower that needs sun and water, you know what I'm saying, that needs the correct environmental conditions, you are not going to thrive spiritually. Meaning that even though you're trying to grow and you are, doing this work on yourself, you get to a point in your path where, okay, I have obviously outgrown this environment. There will be certain people that you may have been able to tolerate their energy up to a certain point. But when you get to a certain point in your spiritual growth, you're going to begin to notice certain people that carry certain energies just naturally begin to fall off and fall out of your experience because you've outgrown them. And then some of the people, like the leaves on a tree, hence the title of the Midnight Mindfulness lesson that we're doing on YouTube, the pruning. Sometimes when the leaves do not fall by themselves, in order for you to help that tree or that plant to survive, you have to go and cut off what no longer serves the whole. And you have to be able to identify which parts need to be cut off and which parts that I can still nurture, what can still grow. You have to be able, as the gardener of your own life, to identify what do I hold on to and what do I let go of. Because whatever you let go of, you have to understand going in that whatever you are being called to let go of, it is a part of you. It was a part of you. So it is going to be painful. The parts that you have to go and actively take a role in disconnecting. See, there were parts that fell off, on their own. They fell off naturally. But the parts that you have to go and actively take a role in cutting off, that represents the parts that you are also holding on to. So these are things that not just that are holding on to you, but you are also holding on to it. And this is why these things didn't fall away naturally. These are spiritual attachments that still equate to what I call spiritual gravity, still holding you down, still holding you back. So that part of your spiritual path where you have to release all earthly attachments, that's that rite of passage that you face just as you cross the threshold into that next level of awareness, into that higher love, that higher wisdom, that higher level of light, that next best version of self. These are rites of passage. And so, yes, we have to be willing to willingly cut away those parts that no longer serve us. It's like Alice in Wonderland when she wanted to go through the little door and she was too big to fit through the little door. And so she had to eat a piece of the mushroom in order to defy the laws of physics so that she could fit through that door. Yeah. Some of the things that we're going to have to do are going to make us uncomfortable. This is the time where you are being called, chosen one, to step outside of your comfort zone, just as the caterpillar is being called, has outgrown the cocoon. Detaching from your cocoon is a painful process. The transformation that was happening within the cocoon was also a painful process. But what emerges from the cocoon, the butterfly, is the outcome of the process. The caterpillar, all its life, had dreamed of being able to leave the earth and to be able to fly. The caterpillar always felt unnoticed and got stepped on sometimes. And, you know, when people did notice it, they kind of ran from it. It was kind of like, ugh, you know? The caterpillar was the cornerstone that the builders rejected. And so the creator wrapped the caterpillar up because it had been so exposed to the elements. It was afraid. It didn't like the world that it was in because the world did not accept it. It said, "No, that's a worm. That's disgusting. It's ugly." But they didn't know that within the DNA of that caterpillar was a beautiful butterfly that needed to be unraveled. And it needed a safe space in which to do that. And within that, the spirit of this caterpillar, it didn't even know that it had within it the ability to create for itself this safe space in which there would be a major transformation taking place. And once it had got all comfortable up in the space and gotten used to the space, the caterpillar continued to grow and continued to change and to transform. And the space became too small, which is what's happening with a lot of you. You've outgrown your environment. You've outgrown your relationship. You've outgrown your job, your career, the city, the state that you live in. You've outgrown your old persona. So a lot of you are being called to emerge from the cocoon and to flap the wings that you don't even know that you have. And a lot of you are afraid. So because a lot of you have overstayed your welcome within the cocoon and you were supposed to have left already, now you feel like, this is darkness, like I'm tired of this. It's something more that I need to be doing. Again, within the darkness of your cocoon, there was a transformation taking place, but you cannot thrive in that darkness. In order for the beautiful colors of your wings to be seen, they must be exposed to the light. And so you cannot have fear as you ascend to this next level of experience, being a whole new creature altogether. Fear weakens The Taurus field, as we've shown you guys several times with the picture of the aura, the Taurus field, the electromagnetic field of the heart. Your heart is either generating love or generating fear. If it's generating love, your Taurus field is big. You're a giant in the spirit realm, just like me. And if your Taurus field, if you're emitting the energy of fear, your Taurus field is small. And you're a little clown, just like the devil was when I saw him in the hallway when I was 8. There's only two energies here. There's the big energy of love, and there's the little energy of fear. Big shit popping, little shit stopping. Come through, spirit. So, fear weakens the spirit. It gives you a small sphere of influence. It makes your Taurus field small. And so when your Taurus field is small, because see, we don't understand that Taurus field, that aura, that halo is also a shield of protection. When it's big, no one can penetrate that when it's big. But when it's small and it's real close to your body, anything can get real close to your body. I just said something. Just picture, each person's body emitting a light, and the person who is who's vibrating in an energy of fear, and this equates to anything as far as anxiety, depression, you know what I'm saying, jealousy, anger, anything that is not of God is fear, because fear is not of God, and there's only two energies here. So someone resonating in one of these vibrations, their light is you don't even see a light. Like a narcissist, they're completely consumed by darkness. And so they are completely unprotected, which is why they're always paranoid, which is why they look out at the world and they see a bunch of monsters that are, everyone's after them and out to get them. They don't have the divine protection of God's people. You protect yourself by emitting an energy of pure love and light. This comprises your halo. This is what causes your auric field to grow. It's not rocket science, it's simple. You got a devil on your left shoulder, you got an angel on the right. Whichever one you feed, whichever one you listen to, whichever one's advice you take, will be the one whose form that you take. That will become the one who has taken the wheel of your experience. It's not about sitting on the fence and staying in the middle and balancing and holding on to them both. No, that's what 3D was about. If you wish to ascend to a higher level, you have to choose. So the layers of protection that surround the person who is emitting an energy of pure love are unpenetrable. That person is invincible. This is literally a cloak of invincibility. If that cloak of invincibility was not real, UnRaveler would not be standing here today. You have no idea how many YouTube witches and real witches and all types of spiritual workers try to throw darts at Oshun Aje because of the truth that I speak. Unadulterated. The reason why no weapon formed against me shall prosper is because of this cloak of invincibility comprised of pure love and light. It's the same cloak, it's the same halo that every ascended master has worn as their armor. It's just the glow of authenticity. Okay. So when you are resonating in an energy of fear, your vibration is very low, and this leaves you unprotected spiritually. So in my dream, when I saw all of these people getting possessed, and I knew that it was most of the world who it had happened to, this is because most of the world has been in a low enough vibration to be within the reach of the most low. How did you get in a low vibration, you ask? Watching the news, watching My 600-Pound Life, watching forensic files, watching fights and Black people being killed and people being done wrong on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. And shall I go on? Lenny Kravitz, I see you in the building. Love the name. So, in order to be protected in this spiritual war, you must keep your vibrations as high as possible. You have to vibrate in an energy of love, because the most low in his chosen vessels, they simply do not have the capability of reaching that high. So the reason why they feed you negativity and darkness and fear-based teachings on the news, in church, in school, everywhere that you look, is to keep you in a low enough vibration so that the beast can continue to feed off of you. Remember in the Matrix when Neo asked Morpheus, what is this all about? What did Morpheus show him? And what did he tell him? He held up a battery, and it was all about energy, correct? So energy, frequency, and vibration. So basically what I'm saying is that the devil can't eat off you, okay, if you are not comprised of the things that he needs to eat, that he's made of. The devil can only eat more of what he is, meaning that the narcissist, the sociopath, the psychopath, they can only consume fear, anger, anxiety, all these low vibrations, right? This is their purpose for trying to provoke you into these low vibrations so that they can feed. They are energy vampires. What they cannot consume is love. They can't consume peace. They can't consume joy. They can't consume anything that is of a high vibration. They have to eat darkness. So in order to be able to eat from you, they have to provoke darkness from you. This doesn't, they don't care how they have to do it. Whether they got to lie to you, lie on you, put their hands on you, upset you, lower your vibration in whatever way is necessary in order to get what they need, which is your energy. And the energy must be of a low vibration. So in order to outwit the devil, to disarm the devil, learn first to control your emotions. And when I say control them, I mean change your emotional channel. Anytime you feel yourself going into those low vibrations like fear and all of these things. So this is the reason why it's necessary to cleanse and purge out things that happen in childhood trauma. This is the whole purpose for shadow work and inner child work, so that within the subconscious mind, there are no seeds of negativity that can grow into something that the devil can take a hold of and pull you back into hell with. So in order for the devil not to find any of those seeds within you, you go within yourself and you find those seeds yourself and you dig them up by the root and you replace them with something better. We've already discussed this. This is what positive affirmations are. So when you go into the subconscious mind, which is the blueprint of your reality, you look for the seeds of negativity that have been planted there in various ways, through the music, through the TV, through church, through school, your mom and them, your grandma, whatever. You go find those seeds and you dig them up. Throw those back into the ether to be transmuted back into the light. And you replace those seeds of darkness with affirmations of abundance, of healing, of wholeness, of newness, a rebirth, rejuvenation, revitalization, resurrection, restore, rebuild, renew, revive. Remember. So keep your spirits high during this warfare. A lot of you are being attacked and don't even know it. You just think that, I'm having a bad day. A lot of things are going wrong. No, this is spiritual warfare, and this is what it looks like. If you're feeling drained of energy, if you're feeling lethargic, apathetic, if you're feeling that you don't have the energy to get up and take care of the things that you need to take care of, this is all spiritual attack that most people were not prepared for because they so busy gathering up guns and toilet paper. Okay, for the spiritual war. When the battlefield is the mind, it's your emotional state that is being attacked. So keep your spirits high and walk in faith, because a lot of things that are happening, they're happening in the subconscious mind. It's beneath the surface. It's not something that you're going to see with your physical eyes. You won't see it coming. It's just going to come like a thief in the night. It's an energy that's moving like bird box and using whoever is a vibrational match to such a low vibration. I think that I've taught enough about the characteristics and traits of a narcissist. Now, I'm never going to stop talking about it, but as much as you guys know now, you should be able to identify this, and you cannot afford to not listen to your intuition when it comes to this and when you think that you've run across one. Okay? When you know that you're dealing with a narcissist, deal with them accordingly, especially at this time. Don't take anything from them, such as loans or favors, because narcissists, they keep tabs on everything. And in their mind, no matter how insignificant or small that you think something is that they may have done for you, in their mind, you owe them. Things that you might not have ever even thought of as an exchange, anything that they give to you in the form of anything tangible, energy, anything that they have made an effort to have to help someone with, which they resent, by the way. They feel that you owe them. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. So one way to keep from getting into these entanglements with them is don't take anything from a narcissist. Nothing that they do is from the kindness of their heart, because there is no kindness in their heart. They don't even have a heart. So I want to really point out some of the people that you may have known, because again, in the dream, these were normal and regular people. They were my coworkers. But once they had gone into the office with the boss, the man in the black suit, they came out and they had this devilish spirit inserted into them in some sort of subliminal way. And so the reason I'm pointing that out is that because these, I'm pointing out that some of the people that you know and love may switch up on you. They may have gotten bird boxed, if you know what I mean. See, what will happen is that, a lot of people start out with good intentions. Okay, a lot of people start out and say, I want to help people. I want to, I want to heal the nation. I want to, help whatever the cause is that you're called to do. And I feel that most people do start out with good intentions. But I also know human nature, and I know how the ego, when it's presented with growth of any sort, whether you got a million more followers or a million more dollars, there is the danger of the ego taking possession of that and the ego beginning to be inflated by that. So a lot of people who you see who when we ask, how does this wickedness even get in high places, it's because these were people who started out with good intentions, people who the Most High allowed to get to those high places because they were being obedient. They were doing everything that the Most High was telling them to do. They earned a spot to get to that high place where they were. And then when they got there, they forgot about the Most High. These are people whose egos have consumed them, and they forgot that the whole time that they were climbing and struggling, that they was praying and asking for help, that they actually received that help. And, you know, it wasn't just their own finite power alone, but it was the infinite spirit that drove you to that high place. And then once you arrived, you forgot about God. You say, I want to challenge God. I I don't believe in God. I am God. Look at everything that I have. I am God. Ain't that the same thing that Satan said, or Lucifer, the story? You know what I'm saying? Like, wasn't he God's most beautiful angel and highly favored? Didn't he start off humble, a believer, obedient, just like a lot of these people? A lot of these people, they were listening to God and doing everything that was required to get to that high place. And as soon as they got there, they forgot about God. This is what a narcissist will do. This is what a lot of humans have done. And we're seeing it right now. Okay. A lot of people are under divine judgment and going through very hard times right now. Okay. Mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, and not understanding or understanding what's going on. They don't recognize spiritual warfare for what it is. They don't understand that a lot of them are under spiritual judgment. And this is your own energy coming back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is the time of the harvest. So the wheat is being separated from the tares. And those people who forgot about God, oh, they will be made to remember God. Now, some of these people have been sent direct messengers to try to help them remember God, because the Most High does not want to leave anybody behind. But at the end of my dream, this was actually the second dream, which was basically I had two dreams. The first dream was showing me this war that was coming. I called that dream the time of change. The second dream was the end of the war. So basically, I was shown the beginning of the war and the end of the war. I was not shown the war itself, okay, for obvious reasons. But the end of the war, we were leaving the planet. I was hovering over the planet in some sort of spaceship, airship, something, and I was looking down at the planet, which was on fire like a hot ball of charcoal, and the people were burning. And they were burning, and they were not burning up. They were not being allowed to perish. They were praying for death, and death was not coming. They were burning, they were being tortured, and they could not get off the planet, and the whole planet was on fire. So when I talked to the Most High about this, it was confirmed to me that this was a memory and also a prophecy. It was not just a dream. This is something that has happened before, and it is something that is going to happen again. And it is due to choices and decisions that people have made using the free will that they were given. So the messengers who have come and interacted directly with some of these people, the messengers who have been sent into your lives that a lot of you have rejected. These people were sent to help you remember God so that you can be saved from that fire. See, there are always messengers, the oracle, the seer, the one who is shown what's going to happen ahead of time. And no one ever listens. Only a handful of people listen to the seer. And when I was on that ship, there was only a handful of people on that ship with me. Everyone else was burning. So, as the truth speaker, I'm going to continue to speak until the Most High has told me to not speak. I'm going to continue to speak. But there are so many non believers that this is how we know that this is going to happen again. Because no matter what you say, no matter what dreams people have, what visions they have, what supernatural experiences that they have, people allow their minds to talk themselves out of what their heart wants, as if God lives in your mind and not in your heart. So when you're listening to your mind, you're listening to that devil on the left shoulder. And when you're listening to your heart, you're listening to the angel on the right. I just said something. So this is the time of change that I've been talking about for several years. And I was born for such a time as this. I came to inspire you. I came to help you change your mind because you are not to be conforming to the world as it is, but you are supposed to be transforming by allowing your mind to be renewed, by allowing yourself to be unraveled. So I'm just here to inspire you to change your mind because this is the time of change and you are running out of time. Wakanda Nation, I'll see you in the building. So you're running out of time. So I'm just here to remind you to stop the problem and return to your natural state of being and rebuild your connection to source. The reason why you are lost and wandering in the dark and going through the dark night of the soul and you feel alone and lonely and whatever it is that people are going through in this time, it is because of your disconnection from the source. What profits a man to gain the world and lose his soul? How did you could disconnect from the source? You became so attached to physical things, whether it was another physical human being, whether it was something that you owned, something that you love within the physical world so much that you forgot about spirit. So I believe in the last live I was using the scripture that talked about how it would be easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom. This is because, again, the rich man loves his things because that's all that money buys is things. And in the blink of an eye, all of those things can be taken away just like that. And a lot of people right now in this very moment are on the verge of this happening right now. Let me reintroduce myself for obvious reasons, okay? My name is Oshun Aje. Oshun, spirit of the river, the sweet waters of the earth, with Aje, daughter of Olokun. See, y'all think y'all know me, but you don't know me like that. Aje is deeper than Oshun, deeper than Yemela. I am named for two goddesses, deeply connected to the water on the earth, deep in wisdom and knowledge and understanding. I am what is called a siren. Look on the side of your Starbucks cup. That's me. A siren. If you understand the purpose of a siren, then you understand why I step up to the mic, why I do what I do, why I am here, why my voice was activated in the supernatural by Archangel Michael. If you understand the purpose of a siren, then you hear me right now. And if you don't hear me right now, you will. This I know for sure. If you keep on playing in God's face, testing God, denying God, challenging God in the same way that Satan did, you will fall from grace. And this is a warning, just like Satan did. You got an angel on your shoulder and you got a devil on your shoulder. And thus far, in the realm of duality that we have been in, this has been the human condition. Angel on the right shoulder, devil on the left shoulder. This is the human condition thus far. But this is the time of change. You must choose a side, and to not choose is to choose. So again, the story of Lucifer or Satan, and people want to say these are two different beings. It does. The point is this: it don't matter about the name. The fact is that there are factions of the collective who have allowed wealth and status and clout to make them feel like they are God, and they are not. So in my dream, when the people were being possessed, I was listening to the way that they were being possessed. They were going to basically the boss was calling them into the office one by one, and he had told us that this is going to be a meeting regarding the whole company. And the reason why I started to listen was because I didn't understand why, if it's a meeting for the whole company, why are we being called in here one by one? Why don't we just have one big meeting? And so as I was listening to what he was saying to them, he was saying things about the company, but then there was this devilish undertone that I could also hear. I was hearing two voices because I am clairaudient, but they were only hearing the one voice. And so when they came out of the office, when they would speak, and even in their eyes, I could see that other spirit. I heard two voices. They had basically whatever he was saying to them, it had allowed this spirit to be inserted into them. It had entered into them by them receiving and listening to these subliminal messages that they didn't even know that they were listening to. So this is indicative of, a lot of things: the music, the TV, the jingles on the commercials, a lot of things that are, symbols being used in logos, all of these things. We need to really wake up and pay attention into the subliminal ways into which by which that this lower vibrational entity is entering into people's minds. Okay, when I dissected the book Outwitting the Devil, he very pointed out like the types of people that he looks for, and he calls them drifters. And these are people who don't occupy their own mind, people who in childhood suffered some form of trauma and learned to vacate mentally and emotionally, and therefore they are an empty vessel. And this is how they became possessed with a lot of people. Okay, but there are various ways that this is happening subliminally. Okay, this is what a lot of celebrities and the music and a lot of things like that are being used for. And so a lot of people did start out with good intentions, but that wealth, that status, that clout made them begin to feel like they were above God. These are people, again, that I told you, this is how the wickedness got in high places. They were good people until they got to a certain level, a certain status, and then the ego took possession of everything that they had. Power, control, dominance, manipulation. These are the personality traits of the devil and his co-workers. Dominance, manipulation, fear tactics, corruption, lust, deception, seduction. Anyone exhibiting these types of behaviors has a dark spiritual attachment. I just said something. This is a man, woman, LGBTQXYZ. It does not matter. These are the personality traits. They seek power, they seek control, they seek to dominate. They are very manipulative. They try to put fear in your heart. They are corrupt. They are lustful. They try to use things like seduction when it comes to the Jezebel spirit, when it comes to the Delilah spirit, the Leviathan spirit, the incubus, the succubus. These are all dark spiritual attachments, using seduction and lust to take the people of God off of their path. Anyone exhibiting these behaviors has dark spiritual attachments. Don't allow your mind to talk yourself out of it when you see it. You cannot afford what you will lose if you miss these red flags. So an example would be, let me give an example of a low vibrational masculine energy, because it's not all about men are all narcissists. No, there are. I'm going to give both energies. Okay, so the low vibrational masculine energy, they have like the knight in shining armor story twisted, because it goes back to the story of Satan, the devil, Lucifer, whatever, being thrown out of the kingdom. And so when he was thrown out of the kingdom, him and all of he also had minions, co-workers. Okay, they were all thrown out. And so what they began to do was create their own dark version of the kingdom, hence the world that we are in right now. I just said something. So everything that the Most High creates, everything that God makes as an original version, the Most Low makes a copy. Divine feminine. Correct me if I'm wrong. Divine feminine. There is a phenomenon of men, women, and everyone else mimicking, copying the divine feminine. Why? This is a spiritual warfare, and the devil, that's all he can do. The devil does not have any creativity of his own. He doesn't have any fruits of the spirit. such as creativity, such as joy, such as beauty. I mean, inner beauty, not just, buying body parts and being a man made person. Okay. But when you was born like that, when you woke up like this, the devil doesn't have any of that. So everything that God makes, the devil has a dark copy, a dark replica, an irregular dollar store version of the original. I said what I said. So low vibrational men who are carrying this Leviathan spirit, that are carrying this incubus spirit, they have that knight in shining armor story. They have a dark replica of it, okay, where it's all about domination and control. So they seek a woman who is weaker or more vulnerable than them so that they can breadcrumb the woman and control her. And this makes them feel like God in her world. The God of misery. Okay. The narcissist thinks that they are God and they want total and absolute control over the people in their world. They do not care how these people feel, think, or what they're going through. As long as you serve my needs, then the narcissist is content, but they're never happy. They're never fulfilled. It is impossible for them to be fulfilled. They are the unfillables because there is no rest for the wicked. So this is why they go around seeking whom they can devour in the form of, let me go see who I can start an argument with. Let me go see who I can provoke. Let me see who I can lower their vibe. Oh, she happy today? Oh no. Oh, she's doing God's work. Let me go in there and just start something. Let me just pop up in the box and start narking. They out here narking, y'all. Don Julio, good to see you. So share the live in my Bigo live room. My people, I don't know how much longer that I'm going to be here. But I am recording this on YouTube as well. So you can catch the playback on House of Healing LLC. So the devil's copy of the knight in shining armor is the narcissist who comes in to pretend to be the knight in shining armor, to pretend to be the love of your life, to pretend to be your kingdom spouse or your quote unquote twin flame or infinite flame. And the trick works sometimes. They come in, they love bomb, they do all of these things to act exactly like they are, you're the man or the woman of your dreams. And then when you believe them and you let your guard down, then the mask comes off and they go in for the kill because that is their purpose for being here, to kill, steal, and destroy. And they must do it through deception, because if they walked up and said, I got the spirit of the devil in me, they would never get in. So this is why they love bomb you, because they know that the empathic person responds to sweetness and honey and love and nurturing. So they have learned how to mimic those things, but the true energy needed in order to sustain this act is not there, which is why the mask always, without fail, falls off, because they cannot maintain a high vibration. They can only act, and they can only hold that act for so long. So this is why I always tell people to take time to get to know a person. You don't know someone just because you talk to them online. Have you seen them when they're not getting their way? Have you been around them when they get angry? Because everybody gets angry. It's about, how do you handle your anger? How do you manage your anger? How do you act when you're angry, when you're upset, when you're disappointed, when you get triggered? How do you behave? Don't ask a person how they behave. Observe how they behave. Because if you ask a narc, they're going to always tell you, oh, I'm the sweetest person in the world. I just keep to myself. I don't bother nobody. It's all a lie. So you can't ask a person how they are. You can only observe. And this takes time. This takes patience. This takes spiritual discernment. This takes being honest with oneself. This means taking off the rose colored glasses and seeing the truth for what it is and accepting the things that you cannot change. See, an empathic woman like me, I'm a lot more dangerous than I look. So a person like me, I attract narcissists all the time. They they fail to understand. You know what I'm saying? I mean, those of you who know me, y'all know who my teacher is. Y'all know who initiated me. So though I may look like prey, I'm really the bait. I said what I said. A lot of y'all look like prey, but you're really the bait. In case you didn't know. You think that the creator didn't know that if they put something sweet and vulnerable and something that looked weak and something that looked like it was going to be easy prey, that all the narcs wouldn't come running, wouldn't be attracted like a moth to a flame? They think people like us are naive and gullible. They think we know nothing. And yet we know everything. The narcissist thinks that innocence makes you stupid. The empath knows that innocence makes you brave, it makes you courageous. The empath can do what the narcissist fears doing because the empath knows that she is divinely protected. God shows me my enemies' moves even before they make them. And they wonder why it never works. They just don't get it. This is why I rest. This is why I'm always in a high vibration. This is why I'm a happy person. Do I say that I don't feel the full spectrum of human emotions? Yes, I do. I let them pass through me and I transmute them back to the divine, and then I return to my original state of being, which is one of joy and peace and love. We are all transducers of energy, but a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of you are still carrying around pain and wounds from your childhood because you don't know how to release them, or because it's too hard. It's the work is too hard. It's too painful of a process. So you walk around with all this spiritual gravity, like the bag lady that Erica Badu sings about, and you're gonna miss the mothership. I told y'all to pack light. You don't need any weapons. You don't need all this stuff these people are telling you to gather up. No weapons formed against me have ever prospered. Their weapons have only served to destroy them and that which they love. And they didn't figure it out until it was too late. The reason why I'm so laid back, you know what I'm saying? It's not because I'm unaware, it's because I know the plans that God has for me. They are plans to prosper me and not to harm me, to give me hope and a future. Not the lies that the devil is telling on the news and in the church and in the school, in your living room. The devil is a lie. I know the plans that the Most High has for me. Okay, so I'm not just existing and waiting for this war that's going to come and destroy us all, and the whole world is going to blow up, and there is going to be a food shortage and global warming and whatever, all these other lies that the devil is telling. The devil is a lie. All is mind, and it is the minds of the people that are creating the world. So if you keep allowing Pinky in the brain to spoon feed you information that equates to seeds of negativity that then will grow out into your experience, then you're still sleepwalking. If you wake up and take control over your own thoughts and your emotions, use them accordingly, very deliberately, then you can create the world that you live in. This is self realization, allowing that indwelling spirit that creates from the subconscious mind of which you are mostly unaware, which is why you're unaware of why your world is happening the way that it is, because it's coming from your subconscious mind. This is why you're not aware that you're creating, because it's not the things that are on the surface. The things that are on the surface of your mind, these are all things that were put there to distract you. Because in reality, there shouldn't even be a such thing as a subconscious mind, implying that which is hidden. The great awakening is just flipping the light on in a dark mind, illuminating the truth, because you only see in part right now. You don't see the full picture, so you can't have a full understanding of what's going on. Some people have eyes that see through the illusion. Some people have ears that hear beyond this dimension. Those people are the messengers who are coming to tell you the good news. That the kingdom of heaven is not a world of duality. Ain't no devil in the kingdom of heaven. Okay? In the kingdom of heaven, there is no darkness at all. It's a no narc network. There are no non-believers in the kingdom. And these will be the last few warnings that you're going to get, because the kingdom is at hand. So, what I'm giving you as the siren is the opportunity to get right before you get left. And that's the message. My boxes are open on Bigo for about 5 minutes. If there are any questions, comments, or concerns, if anyone would like to jump in the box, they are open. Let me look at my chat on YouTube. Always great to hear and see you. Just saw the notification. It's always great to hear and see you as well, Don Julio. I'm so glad that you're here. Maria, again, good to see you, babe. Felicia, these are my day ones, okay? My A1 day ones. Lenny Kravitz, you're new, okay? Welcome. I love it, unless you didn't change your name. Don Julio, love the love, okay? I appreciate you all. I appreciate everyone that's also in my Bigo Live room. Okay. It is a new year and also a new month, y'all. Let's get it. Okay. Don't be mean. Throw your girl some beans. Okay. All the little Bigo sayings. Okay. But I'm not going to wait on any beans tonight. I have delivered the message that I came to deliver, my people. I do hope that it was truly helpful. Okay. And I will be back tomorrow evening sometime. I'm not going to say a definite time because I do not move within linear time, but I will be back within the next 24 hour. Okay, the next solar return. And until we meet again, my people, peace, love, life, healing, and abundance. I'm out.